Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, and welcome to I don't know how to categorize this. What we're going to do today is take a look at the vanilla Flight Simulator as it comes. No third-party add-ons. We will utilize some of the optional purchasable aircraft via the deluxe editions and all of that. But what I want to do is I want to look at what Flight Simulator looks at on maximum everything. Maximum graphics, maximum traffic at these bespoke airports. This is a default airport. We're at Liverpool, John Lennon Liverpool. I don't know. We're in the UK. And we're going to be flying down to Nice, Côte d'Azur, in the south of France, getting some lovely UK folk away on an end of summer holiday. Flying the Jet2 Holidays A321 XR, or is it ER? Doesn't matter. Yeah, so let's go ahead and board up and let's begin. So we're now on board the flight deck of our A321. This is actually a AnyBuilds port. AnyBuilds originally made this A321 and Asobo bought them out, which that's fine, whatever. It's a default aircraft, and we're going to utilize it today. But just to prove I'm not lying to you, let me go to my settings, and I want to show you that everything is maxed out. Terrain level of detail maxed. All of these values are at the absolute highest that they can go. Either high or ultra. Motion blur I have off. There's no real performance on that. I just hate how it looks. So that's the one caveat. That's why we have the custom moniker on our graphics preset. HDR I have off just because when I turn it on, it looks like garbage for you guys. So we're going to leave that off for this recording. But everything else is maxed out. You can see we're at full 2K resolution, 2560 by 1440. And I'm not gonna lie, it's stressing the GPU out a little bit, as you can see the time to load objects is a little bit long. And I also notice, even though my resolution or my refresh rate of cockpit displays is set to the max, it's not very good. So we're gonna go ahead and wait for the IRS to align in the next 3-ish minutes, and then we'll get plugging in I'll get plugging in the flight data as we're waiting. I think I can do that while our IRS is aligning. And I will check back once we're ready to push back, see how that goes without GSX. So let's talk about what we have available to us in the, I don't want to call it vanilla, but it kind of is vanilla sim here. One thing you will notice is the variety of aircraft here, as well as some of the animations are a byproduct of having other things installed. It's like a handful of these aircraft, like specifically this Embraer, I believe, is a third party. But that EasyJet on the runway, getting ready to take off, he used vanilla. Obviously the default 737-800 is vanilla. Animations are okay, they're decent, but you know, they're not GSX quality. There's no people moving around. We've got an EasyJet tug loading up our Jet2 Holidays Airbus, so that's less than ideal. That's all done via the built-in tablet. There's more of that degradation. The built-in tablet that AnyBuilds gave us, right? So if you don't have this tablet, your only option is via the ATC menu, which I'm struggling to open. And I can tune up ground, and I can go to my ground services, and I can do same thing there. Passengers boarding, baggage, catering service, that sort of thing. So if you don't have this tablet, like if you're in the default 7.3, or I don't know, something else where you would need baggage or passengers boarding, you would have to do that through the ATC menu. It's not the end of the world, but it's definitely not the best. While we're here, let's look at our route. So we're obviously coming in from the north of England, kind of central UK, going all the way across France down to the south. Now our route is not very well calculated automatically, so what I can do, and we've aligned our IRS, that's good. I can send this to ATC and Avionics. This is nothing new. But what happens if I go to the flight plan page is we have a whole bunch of nothing in here. So I sent it over. There's a whole bunch of stuff that we're missing. So I need to change our departure. We're going to be departing via runway 09. And we're going to have to plug some stuff in. This is where something like the sim brief dispatch would come in handy, because it fills in a lot of these gaps that flight sim kind of leaves when you change it. And you can change your departure and that sort of thing. So like if I wanted to do, I don't know, the BART 1B direct, switch to IFR please. En route, find me a route. Good. Arrival, we'll stick with what they got. Approach, we'll stick with what they got. ILS 4 right Yankee via the nearest transition. So now let's send to ATC and Avionics. Look at the flight plan again. You can see it's cleaned up a little bit. So you do have to do a little bit of work on top of just clicking your two airports and hitting go. But this is a complete flight plan for the most part. I'm sure there's a better means of routing. There is. It's called SimBrief Dispatch, but we're doing it default today, so we're not going to be utilizing that. I need to set my weights. Oh, I did that already. Okay, cool. Very cool. We'll block out 2.2 for ground time. And let's go to the perf page. We need to calculate our takeoff speeds. Again, that's not available to us immediately, so we need to go, I think it's, is it payload? What just happened? Oh, I put my little sheet up. Didn't mean to do that. So let's go. A lot of passengers, decent amount of cargo, a lot of fuel. And let's go to our takeoff calculator, sync, calculate. So there are V speeds 125, 127, and 131. So 125, 127, and 131. With that done, we'll get our passengers on board and look at the manual pushback. In the aircraft, we'll also grab our clearance. Alright, we're about set to taxi here. Let's go ahead and set up our transponder. I think we have the correct squawk code, 5207, which we do. So let's call for pushback and start. I actually need to get rid of those. Get rid of that. I think that's it. The cone should go away when we start to move, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't think there's a manual GPU. Like a GPU. Hey. Right. Okay, so to the ATC menu, let's request pushback, because we're going to start up as we push back.
Liverpool ground, Airbus X-Ray Golf Sierra, at General Aviation Parking, Information Yankee. Request pushback.
Airbus X-Ray Golf Sierra, Liverpool ground. Pushback approved.
Okay, so we're approved for pushback. Now how do we do that? That's again going to be returning to little ground menu here. If you don't have, again, if you don't have this EFB, I guess you're just screwed. I don't really know, but let's do what we can. We've got the aircraft set up here. Let's get the fuel pumps on since we got the beacon going. And push back. Park brake off. Alright, so we're pushing back. Do I have rudder pedal control? Nope. Do I have tiller control? No. So it's just a straight back push. There's no turning, at least on the A321neo. I think this is as good of a spot as any. To finish the pushback. Alright, done with the tablet. We'll wait for the engines to whir to life and then get the taxiing. Alright, we have 2 successful starts. Engines 1 and 2. Oil temp's got to come up a little bit, but we can go back to the normal detent. We'll request our taxi clearance.
Liverpool ground, Airbus Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra with Yankee, ready to taxi IFR.
Airbus Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra. Taxi to and hold short of runway 09er via taxiway. Contact tower on 126 decimal tree 55 when ready.
Taxi to and hold short runway 09er using taxiway, Airbus X-Ray Golf Sierra.
So one thing I will say that I've noticed is Flight Sim has really upped their game when it comes to the AI ATC. It's still not great, but rapidly approaching beyond ATC levels. As far as the voice synthesis, as far as what you can do, no shot. The fact that I can talk into a microphone and it responds based on what I say, fantastic. So Flight Sim isn't there yet, but the voice synthesis is a lot better, and you can tell with the delays now in the voice that they're definitely using some sort of AI synthesis. Alright, runway 09 confirmed.
Liverpool Tower, Ryanair
Throw them
underscore
up.
5225, 30 miles west, inbound ILS runway 09
Up into
approach.
flex.
Ryanair underscore N5225, Liverpool Tower. QNH 1015, cleared ILS runway 0.
Cleared ILS runway 09er approach, Ryanair underscore N5225.
Yeah, the controller forgot the 0. Alright, good rate. Let's go gear up. And back into flex.
Airbus X-Ray Golf Sierra contact Manchester Center on 118.775. Good day.
18775. It's a little bit choppy on the recording. Let's see if that helps. Is that smoothing things up? Not really. Anyway, nonetheless, we are now on our way out of Liverpool and on our way, long ways to go, over to Nice. Alright, and we've made it down to Nice Côte d'Ivoire. What is going on with the ships? Oh my god. That's what I get for having ultra traffic, I guess. I don't know whose AIS data they're pulling, but that's not correct. Look at all those boats. I need to focus.
Airbus X-Ray Golf Sierra. Follow the aircraft on final. Wind tree 17 at 5. Clear to land runway 4 right.
Alright, there's our landing clearance.
Clear to land runway 4 right, Airbus X-Ray Golf Sierra.
And in case you didn't notice by the extinguished autopilot and flight director, we're going to fly this in by hand today. A little bit of a crosswind picking up here.
300. 200. 100.
Get a late aggressive flare in.
50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 10. Retard. 5. Retard. Retard.
Alright, good touch. Reverses out. 2 green. There's sub 80.
Airbus X-ray Golf Sierra.
Still those.
Exit runway when able.
Auto brake disarmed. Alright, turning in now to gate 44. Looks like we do have a Marshaller out there. Not GSX worthy, but hey, we'll take it. Alright, let's start following his directions. We'll say the default flight sim animation for the Marshaller is smoother than GSX's. I'm willing to bet that their placement of my aircraft is not nearly as good. My brother in Christ, do you want me to run you over? Why didn't you stand farther back? I can't see you. I can't... Okay, we've killed him. He's dead now. Yes, keep coming. Alright, keep coming. He said keep coming. He said keep coming. Nope, he hasn't. He has yet to tell us to stop. I'm thinking he might be just a static animation. We've crashed into the terminal now. We've clipped our wing on a jetway. Let's move on to something else. So, we've traded our commercial A321 for the Havilland Beaver. And we've traded the sunny south of France for the snowy Great Alaskan North. We're doing a short flight today in the Beaver. I think we'll just do it in real time. It's from here to there. You can take less than a nautical mile away. I've always said that flight sim excels in wilderness environments, and I still stand by that regardless. I do want to point out, so my OBS is still not doing so hot. I'm hitting 127 frames right now. The recording is not that. I don't even think the recording's 60. But I'm past 100 frames per second right now in the sim. I don't know. I don't know what to do. So I'm gonna have to twiddle with my OBS for a little bit, but that's not gonna stop us from taking the old Beaver out. Another thing I noticed, it doesn't really make a difference because you won't be hot switching airplanes like I am, but this Beaver, and this is going to sound stupid, but hear me out, is significantly quieter than the Airbus. I feel like the Airbus was overloaded with audio, whereas this is, I don't know, maybe underrepresented? That's hard to say. But nonetheless, there we go. There's your terrain LOD of 400 departing an airport. Sorry, terrain LOD of 200, objects level of detail 400. Leaving an airport. But this gives us a chance to look at the ship traffic. Again, I don't know whose AIS data they're pulling. I would be very surprised if there were these many vessels, let alone these types of vessels. I'm willing to kind of let the types slide, just because of the limited selection of vessels that Flight Simulator has, but the vastness of these vessels is it's something to behold. I don't think we're literally on the northern tip of Alaska, like probably the northernmost point of the United States, and I don't think there's that many boats up there right now. It is summertime. It's the end of summer in Alaska, but my God, it's a lot of boats. Look at all of them down there. Not sure about all that boat traffic, especially the ones that are like stuck in an inlet. I'm assuming these are like, maybe there's a handful of small fishing vessels out here. And because Flight Sim doesn't have the models for like small fishing vessels, it's like, ah, yes, a yacht. But that doesn't explain. It's like when we were in Côte d'Azur, it would make sense to have a whole bunch of yachts there. That's where the Monaco Grand Prix and all that other cool rich people stuff happens. So it would make sense to have a lot of yachts, but instead of a lot of yachts, we saw a whole bunch of cruise ships stacked on top of each other. This is just a gentle reminder that sometimes more isn't always better. Sometimes having lower settings is a bit... Let's listen to the cope for me. This is coming from someone who had bad graphics cards in the past. It's not my fault, though. I thought 8 gigabytes of VRAM was just fine. I think Flight Simulator recommends, I think they recommend 16 to run the game optimally, so I went out and got 32 in a bright, shiny 5090. 5090 OC, actually. Oh, little bounce. Alright, so we're on the ground. Let's nestle her in here. And then we'll look at one more wilderness situation. It's hopefully maybe a little bit better than this. And then I will, we're going to close out on one other thing that I want to look at that we didn't really get too good of a look at in The Sims so far. So I'll see you guys in one more naturescape. Alright, and one of the last things, the second to last thing in fact, that I want to look at is the fauna. The animals, birds, sheep, giraffe, tigers, lions. I'm not going to say bears. It's lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. That exist in the world. Now, they spawn randomly, so you see a whole bunch of stuff that I have up on the screen here with the developer mode. It's just going to let me find stuff a little bit easier, so I don't have to just fly around aimlessly. But once we get on point here and find some stuff, I will turn them off so we can see. So there's some stuff down there. Some animals in the trees. God, I love the R66. Alright, they're scattering. What do we have? What are you? Water buffalo? Where'd you guys go? Oh. I'm stuck in the ground. Where's my elevation? Yeah. Where'd you go? Come back here. Come back here. Oh, that's as far as I can go? Well, that doesn't help. Anyway, there's a water buffalo. We will go find the next flock of animales. Or herd. Or pod. Or murder. Or I don't know. There's lots of different names for groups of animals. What's your favorite? Next fauna group in sight there in a dense patch of trees. Let's go this way. See if we can scare them out. Run away from me. Fear me. But you can see by the dev mode that we're rendering 235 different fauna right now, which is it's a pretty healthy amount. It's worth noting we're in I was gonna say South Africa, like Central Africa. If it's more water buffalo, I'm uninstalling. It's more water buffalo. And I crashed into a tree to top it off. Let's try a different region. See if I can find something else. Okay, so I am seeing a whole bunch of something right here. Oh, look at all. What are they? Those oh, they're cows. Sacred cows. Let's terrorize them. Hello, cows. 250 now. assuming these are the 166. This is like a wild herd of cows. That one's having an absolute aneurysm. Don't know why, out of every animal that could be here, why cows are the, no, stop running away, 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 stop, 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 stop. I can only go so far. There's sheep. There's sheep and cows. Oh, don't get close, they look like shite. Oh no, they're rendered in. There we go. There's a sheep. There's a cow. Alright, you get the idea. Fauna with painfully high graphics. I don't know. Decent enough. I was going to say 10 out of 10, but not really, because it's a little bit of a pain to find them. Which I guess makes it more special if you're out bushwhacking and you come across some stuff, but I don't know. I'd like to see, like, just generally, like, common animals, like white-tailed deer, coyotes, like, basically spread out almost everywhere. Because, I mean, in the regions where they exist, they literally are everywhere. Like, big sprawling urban centers. Chicago has deer. I've seen a herd of deer in Chicago. Not like Schaumburg, like Chicago. Anyway, let's move on to my final point for this video, and we'll close things out after that. Sound good? Sounds good. One more cow terrorizing pass. Run from me. And welcome to the final segment we're going to look at, that being aircraft density at busy airports. We are at none other than Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta Airport. Still on our maximum graphics, and I want to see what the busiest airport in the world, according to Google, has for traffic. Is it all ghost airplanes like that? A flashing navigation light? Or do we have some actual good variety like this A330? I thought I saw an A350. There it is, like this A350. It's a mixed bag. So what I'm actually going to do, and I want to see what aircraft... Excuse my sound card dying there for a second. Let's go... I guess I should show you what I'm doing. So let's go to Atlanta. And see what we're looking at. So in the sim, we have these three aircraft here at this terminal. If I switch back over, this is the terminal we're looking at. We have nothing there. We have Delta Airlines 210, which is an A350. That aircraft position is occupied by a Turkish Airlines 787. So we're not doing so hot. Not doing so hot. Air France A350, fine. A lot of aircraft taxiing around I can hear. So let's see if there's a Scandinavian Air Services A330 on the ramp. I see Delta. I see another Delta. Like, it should be one of these. But alas. Oh, is it this one? Nope, that's Frontier Flight. Another Frontier Flight. Because we're now facing the north side of the airport. It should be something coming down this taxiway, and alas, it's not. So that doesn't exist. What about that Delta Airlines 737 taxiing out? That I do see. And there should be a 717 on departure. There's not. There is, in the sim, an Alaska 73 departing. but that doesn't show up on any of my data here. Another Delta Airlines 7-3, those two merging now, probably going to crash into each other. So it's not perfect, but it's not bad. In fact, I wonder if this is that Boeing 717 that we just missed. Look at all these guys, I can't say the word, gaggle-effing on top of each other. Very busy, very congested area there. Frontier Flight A321. That guy we can see right here taxiing in. So it's I'd say it's good enough for something free. And I do believe that Flight Sim is utilizing my FS LTL models for some of these aircraft. But all in all, it's I think the air traffic modeling is good. There's a horrible looking downtown Atlanta, not the city itself, but the rendering. Delta 747-400. That's got to be like a museum piece. I bet you it is, because there's like a stairway, and there's also an MD-80, which they don't fly anymore. But I think that's a good enough spot for us to close out on. This is Flight Sim on Max Graphics. Is it worth the money? Probably not. But if you want the absolute best of the best, this is the way to get it. Also, I found that Scandinavian Air Services A330. It just took a second. But anyway, that is going to do it for this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. And as always, take it easy.